In this episode of The Frontline, we bring you two inspiring projects on the Capricorn Coast that are empowering youth to become better leaders in their community, to protect the reef and the special creatures that live there. With one project up in the catchment and the other on the beach, these projects are showing how everything is connected from the land to the ocean.
Team Hatchling is a youth-orientated group. Their primary goal is to help educate the community.
Our main focus last year was light pollution.
The tricky point is that a lot of people don't actually realise that we do have nesting sea turtles in our backyard. Only 1 in 1,000 hatchlings will live to adulthood. But what if that one little hatchling gets lost due to our lights?
I think when the message comes from them, it's very impactful.
Well, we were all here brainstorming and we came up with Team Hatchling. It's a youth-led group where all of us, we try and measure light.
For the last few seasons, we have been using a sky quality meter to take light measurements. We take these measurements where they hatch, halfway and at the water's edge.
We are here on Fisherman's Beach and we are going to have a look at how turtles come up a nest. So this is where a nest actually was.
And we take these measurements, that way we can see which areas have the most light pollution. That way we can communicate with the people in those areas. When they come up to the markets, they ask us.
And we just love explaining to them about turtles.
Just the kids alone are some incredible personalities, and I'm personally inspired by their drive and passion.
It makes me really happy knowing that I'm making a difference for the marine life and turtles.
Thanks to their efforts, the local community has really got behind the team. By adopting these new behaviours, they really are helping these young turtles off to a better start in life.
I'm pretty happy to be one of the youth that is able to be a part of Team Hatchling because it's super special. Not a lot of kids get to do this. That's why we're trying to open it up to a lot of kids so that everybody can help make a difference.
Turtles about to lights out!
Our next generation of leaders are learning how our actions on land impact the reef. The Capricorn Coast Land and Sea Youth Leadership Program took students to visit the permaculture farm to see how water quality can be improved and carbon can be captured in soils as we grow organic food. They learned about real-life issues and solutions and developed their leadership skills for actions that they can take at home, at school and in their communities to reduce their carbon footprint to protect the reef.
My name's Ross O'Reilly. I'm the owner and founder of High Valley Dawn, a 140-acre permaculture farm. Permaculture, permanent agriculture, that's what it really stands for. And this does all from a rocky hill that was covered in lantana in 5 years. It just mimics natural systems, like a rainforest. Like your big canopy trees, and then your citrus trees, and then your bushes, and your ground veggies, and your root veggies, and your vines. And so as the canopy goes up, you continue to plant out in the, in the understory with plants that don't want so much sun. This forest has got its own energy already, creates its own fertiliser with the leaves that it drops, creates its own little microclimate. It becomes its own ecosystem. There's more happens below the ground in this food forest than what happens above the ground.
A lot of things like this here, this tree here with the yellow flowers on, these are legumes, so they're actually really good for actually bringing nutrition out of the atmosphere. We
limit the runoff into our waterways, which limits the runoff or the effects it has on the Great Barrier Reef. This is a swale, see it all on contour, holds up all the water, stops all the erosion, which one thing is great for our reef as a model that we can share with many we're doing these days with lots of school students. Okay, now this is a native rosella. To involve primary school and particularly secondary school students has been part of the plan. Like, they're our change makers. They're our future.
How do we create balance and ensure that our soil is full of nutrients? What do we do? Compost. Oh, you might have to share it with your mate there in the hat.
We've got over 1,500 different varieties of food-producing plants and medicinal plants in our market garden, food forest and bush tucker forest. So what you see is what we've created in the last 8 years. And we couldn't have done that without our volunteers. Had over 300 from all over the world, and they're willing workers on organic farms.
I liked learning about this.
Yeah, it was a really good day, and like when the rain comes, like they said, and it rushes down to like the sea, it won't be as harmful to like the reef.
Join us in celebrating and supporting these frontline efforts. Together, we can create a better future for our reefs and our planet.